Hey, what's going on, fellas? So we're back, and we have a requested video today from our friend Chris R. So Chris R writes, I think you can do a video going over the version 7 seasonal units who might become freebies. Now, of course, Chris is referring to the Tempest Trial units, which are no longer going to be free, brand new characters centered around the theme of the banner that they're released with. Instead, they're just going to do reruns of some of these older characters, and they're just going to slide in one of these previous Tempest Trial units as the new Tempest Trial reward unit for the corresponding theme of banners. So, for example, for the New Year banner, we had this Ash as our Tempest Trial prize, and they released her on the Tempest Trial that came with this year's New Year banner. So, going forward, I imagine that's what they're gonna do. Now, so far we've only gotten two. We've gotten the Ash from New Year, and we just recently got this Caden Nino from the most recent one. This banner actually didn't fit the theme that we had this year, where they did an Ilia theme banner, which was a country-based banner. That's the very first time they did that theme, whereas previous years we've had the desert theme banner in this time slot. So Caden Nino, obviously, even though she doesn't suit the theme, she is still from the corresponding time slot from the previous couple of years ago, which is why they used her. So I don't think they're gonna like flip-flop around. If they do a new seasonal theme, for example, like, I don't know, for the tribe banner theme, where they usually just mix and match all the time and come up with different themes sometimes, for that one, I think they're still gonna go ahead and do the tribe banner from the previous years ago and take one of the units there and slide them onto that Tempest Trial, as opposed to like mixing and matching and finding a theme that might kind of be more suitable but is from a different banner time slot. I don't think they're going to do that. So here we go. Our first two units, of course, it's impossible to really find a pattern here, but I did notice one, and it's that Ash and Nino were both the very first units shown on the banner trailer, which we could actually go ahead and play these banner trailers real quick. Shout outs to the wiki, by the way. This wiki here, the Fae Fandom wiki, is really good for this because they have kept track of all the banners released in the past, and they also link to the actual trailer from back then. So as we can see here, Ash was the very first unit shown on the banner. And then if we go over here to the Caden banner, I believe Nino was also the very first unit shown on the banner. Yep. So is that the theme here? The very first unit that we see on the banner is going to be the Tempest Trial prize. Too early to say because, like I said, it's only been 2 Tempest Trials so far. So it's not really set in stone that that's actually what they're going to do. But let's play along. Let's see if that holds true or makes sense for these other banners. So this time, our very first unit on the trailer was Takumi. So do we think Takumi is going to end up being the freebie for the Valentine banner? Well, let's take a look at this guy. So he's an armored blue tome, which would actually be pretty cool because we don't normally get free armored units that have tomes and like unique weapon classes. Mostly if we get armors, they're just melee types or like dragons or beasts or something. But we very rarely get tome freebie armored units. So yeah, his BST is pretty good for the time. Right now, not really. Like, there's infantry units that score 2 or 3 bins higher than this. But, yeah, he's got some decent stats, again, for the time, I guess. Fast armored unit, which at the time was cool because he did also come with Savvy Fighter, which was interesting. Nowadays, we have such better beast skills than this. I can't even describe it to you guys. Yeah, he's got Far Save, Attack Speed, which is kind of sucky. If you're going to run a save skill, you want it to be defense and res. And then Swift Stance 3. So, yeah, this checks out, honestly. Like, there's nothing here that's out of the norm, I don't think. Like, there's no way that this guy could release as a free unit and Insys would deem this to be a mistake or anything. In fact, we'd probably be better off just getting a brand new Tempest Trial unit with an inheritable weapon that would actually be like sort of meta or like right below meta, as opposed to getting a unit with free passives like this that are just garbage. So yeah, it does seem like Takumi might be the next Tempest Trial unit. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Let's take a look at this one over here. So the spring banner. We're about to get this Spring Carla on the Hall of Forms, by the way. So I don't think she's going to be the freebie, although that would be pretty cool. It would be awesome if they would give us some of these, like, duo heroes and harmonic heroes as the freebie. But I don't know if we can hold Insist to a gold standard like that. They're just going to give us some random 5-star from the banner. Okay, so this time around, the first unit shown on the trailer was Bunny Bernadetta. Very interesting unit because she does the chip damage thing, and obviously there's a lot of shenanigans you can do when your units have taken damage. So, Bunny Bernie. Let's take a look at her passives here. Okay, Escape Route 4 is pretty cool to get on a demote. Remote Sparrow, and then also Defrez Smoke. So all of these are gold border passives, which is cool to see. But at the same time, none of these are worth a damn anymore. I mean, we've actually skipped ahead. Like, these are tier 4 passives. Right now, the current passives you could consider to be like tier 7 or 8 passives, considering the differential in what type of effects they're doing. Like, this would just not fly today. Look at this. Attack and speed up 7 and 30% pierceable DR on the enemy's first attack. Not even their brave attack either, just their first attack. Like, dude, this is not gonna cut it at all. Like, not even for a budget build. Like, people wonder, when I do build videos and I don't show budget builds, and people are always asking, like, yo, where's the budget build? Like, how am I supposed to have this fodder? And the honest truth is, there is no point in doing a budget build because it does nothing. Like, what are you going to do? Fury 3 and Desperation? Like, come on, man. There's no point in budget builds anymore. Just either build the unit or just run them with base kit and call it a day. Because the base kit is just about as... It'll do you just as much good as the budget build in the first place. So, yeah, there we go for Bunny Bernie. Nothing here seems too out of the norm. Escape Route 4 is pretty cool, though, because it has some warping shenanigans. And it does give you Kanto 1. But at this point, there's like a million ways to get Kanto. Alright, next up for the baby banner this time, we have... I'm thinking Baby Eliwood might be the first unit on this trailer here. It's either Eliwood or Hector. Okay, it was Hector this time. Honestly, this time, though, I feel like it could be Eliwood. It could be either of these two. I don't want to say, like, just because Hector was the first unit on the banner, it's going to be him. I don't think it would be too, like, inexplicable for them to give us Eliwood in this time slot here. So, Armored Beacon, actually okay fodder. Vengeful Fighter 4, and then Defrez Far Save. Okay, that's a little better. Certainly better than Takumi. Yeah, I wouldn't mind this as a Tempest Trial prize, because his fodder is okay. It's not, like, terrible or anything. And then as for Eliwood over here, what do we got? So, Speed and Defense Clash, which is bad, and then Speed and Defense Near Trace, and he has a unique C skill there. Okay, so his fodder is worse, but then as a unit, he's probably a little bit more useful, because he is a support unit. All he wants to do is just give bonus doubler support to allies. Although, bonus doubler support nowadays is completely garbage, because there's just so many skills that nullify your bonuses. So even this isn't really helpful. I would prefer Hector for this one, actually, considering his fodder. But it wouldn't surprise me if they gave us Eliwood here, actually. And typically for the baby banners, they do have a preference passive, right? Like, Baby Minerva had one, and a couple of others. So, it might be Eliwood this time, but I don't know. Like, again, this is complete speculation. Hector, if we're following the theme of the first unit on the trailer being the guy. But if it's up to Insys on who they decide to give us, then probably Eliwood. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to the Bride banner this year. So who's the first one on the trailer? Let's take a look here. Okay, so it was Anna this time. Interesting. Yeah, so I've actually heard some people say there was a seasonal Fae Anna, like Anna from Fire Emblem Heroes. This one is obviously from Awakening, but I can't recall Fae Anna ever getting an alt. It might have been the New Year one, but yeah, so let's take a look at this Anna. Let's see if she is a worthy Tempest Trial prize unit, I guess. Her preference weapon, Kanto Ally 2. Get some true damage based on speed. Half a null follow-up there. Yeah, whatever. The stats are going to be way too low. And it's not like these units are getting refined anytime soon either. So, yeah, man, this is just not looking good for these Tempest Trial units. I really would rather them just make a new unit as a Tempest Trial and give that for free. Because it's more likely that they're going to be a helpful unit as opposed to these really old units. The only thing these old units can really do for us is come with some kind of good fodder that we can use either as bridge fodder for a brand new skill or like Colorless Feud is you can still run it kind of. I mean, it'd be more interesting as a Sacred Seal, but like feud skills are still kind of okay. All right, then we got Seal Defense 4, which is gross, and then Remote Sparrow. Yeah, dude, these passives are just not good anymore. And like right now, passive skill power creep is... We're looking at next month, you're looking at better passives for every slot. So you can't even bank on passives lasting longer than a month anymore. Okay, so the summer banner over here, I believe Shez was the first unit on the trailer. Let's take a look. Yep. Okay, so the Surfin Shez is going to be the Tempest Trial prize. Kind of fitting, actually, because remember, we got the male Summer Shez for the Tempest Trial for this time. So now we're going to get the female Summer Shez as a Tempest Trial, presumably. And let's take a look at her passives here. Okay, so we got Lull, Speed, and Defense 4. We got a unique A skill, and then we have Attack and Defense Menace. So yeah, nothing here is out of the norm. They could safely give those out for free, and it doesn't change a goddamn thing. So that leaves me to believe it's likely to happen. And then her weapon was okay for the time. She had true damage. She has Brave Attacking. Well, I think the Brave Attacking is over here, is it? No, I guess the Brave Attacking is on her weapon, and then she gets effective against all types from the A skill. So, yeah, not a bad unit. Well, at least not when she came out, but right now, obviously, until she gets a refine, can't really do much. All right, moving on, we have Summer Banner 2, and this time, I believe it was Fiorm who was the unit that showed off first. Where's the trailer, actually? Oh, they didn't save the trailer from this one. If memory serves, I believe Fiorm was the first unit that they showed on this trailer. And then it was like Ivy, then the Demo, and then Ymir. So I'm thinking Fiorm is probably going to be the one. Maybe Ivy could have been the first one too. Let's take a look at both of these. Okay, so Fiorm pretty much just a God Sword to my recollection. Yeah, Finish 4 is still okay, actually. I mean, of course, there's better A skills now, but, like, this is still okay. And then Times Pulse 4 has, like, 50 Big Brother variants now, and then Spurn 4, which absolutely not. You're not running Pierceable DR anymore. So, yeah, I mean, the finish is still okay. That would be acceptable. And then for Ivy, what do we got? All right, so we got Stillwater 4, which actually is still okay. Crystalline Water is not significantly better than this. It is better, but not by like a stupid amount, because really the only reason you run these anyway is just to get the raw stats for any res check skills you may be running. And then Sabotage Attack Res and Soaring Guidance, which is still okay too. Like, certainly on Dancers, especially Flying Dancers with Soaring Guidance or Guidance 4 are still pretty solid. So yeah, Ivy would actually be more helpful than Fiorm, I think, in terms of fodder, but either of these would be fine. They have something of value, like Attack Speed Finish 4, for example, from Fiorm. I think Fiorm would be the freebie here, although it could be Ivy. I mean, that's another one like the Baby Banner that could go either way. All right, next up we have the Tea Time Banner, which I don't know if they're still going to keep up with the Tea Time theme, because I feel like at this point, now that they've taken off the Desert Banner for the Ilya Banner, I feel like all bets are off now. As far as these, like, kind of random seasonal themes. They might just change this into something else. But who knows? Okay, so this time, I think... Who was the first unit shown? Was it Sigurd or was it Lysithea? It was one of those two. Let's take a look here and find out. Okay, it was Lysithea on this one. Okay, so... We'll take a look at Lysithea. We'll take a look at Sigurd as well, because he could possibly be it. Alright, so T. Lysithea. I remember this unit actually being cracked for the amount of true damage that she had. Nowadays, though, this is like nothing. In fact, what was it, Arcane Lysithea that recently came out, even her, like, unique skill is way better than this. Alright, Desperation 4 and Attack and Speed Oath 4. Yeah, these are whatever. Desperation you can get as a start-to-turn status effect nowadays, so, like, why would you waste a passive slot to get Desperation anymore? So, yeah, not really so great, although she might be the freebie. And then Sigurd, let's take a look at him. So he has a unique special, and then he had Remote Sturdy, and then Seal Res 4. He doesn't even have a complete base kit. Ugh. They couldn't even give this man a C skill. Yeah, I think it would probably be Lysithea for this one. Probably. And even if it is, it's not like it's much help, but if you're free to play, I get, like, she does have a lot of true damage for a free-to-play unit. So maybe that could be helpful. I don't know, it just really sucks that we can't plus 10 these units. They really should have let us just plus 10 them from the Grail Shop. I don't know why it was necessary for them to add them as a Tempest Trial and then only let us buy 2 copies of them from the Grail Shop. Like, couldn't they just let us buy all the copies we wanted? Or is that asking too much? I don't think that's asking too much. I don't know. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments section. At the very least, they should have given us 2 of them as reward units from the Tempest Trial itself, as opposed to 4,000 shards. I'm going to be salty about that forever, by the way. 4,000 shards. Give me a break, man. Okay, so this time on the Wind Tribe banner, I'm pretty sure Claude was the unit that they showed off first. It's interesting that sometimes they have the trailer and sometimes they don't. I don't know what the deal is with that, but okay, so either Claude or Dagger will probably be the freebie, and I'm thinking it's going to be Claude. So Claude was actually a pretty damn good unit at the time. Lethality, actually still pretty good fodder for free-to-play. Even though it's not meta, it's like, it's freaking lethality, right? Like, that's pretty cool. Then we got Attack and Speed Prime 4, which is okay. It's not better than the recent options like Distant Amp and stuff, but it's better than Bonus Doubler and Close Bonus Doubler now, right? Because those skills, when you're nullifying enemy bonuses, they're not really doing anything besides Distant and Close Counter. This is just like, you're getting stats as long as you have bonuses, which we are in bonus meta. Then he had Deep Star and then Attack and Speed Oath. Yeah, so I could actually totally see this guy being the freebie. And that would probably make a lot of people happy, too. Because he was very good when he came out. And then Dagger. This Dagger was also really good when she came out, too. But the problem with her is that Pathfinder got killed by Schism. So, yeah, that is a problem, but we got Attack and Speed Clash 4 there, and then Alarm, Attack and Speed. They might consider doing her as the freebie instead of Claude. Because I think Claude would be a better freebie to get than Dagger, and, of course, we know Insys likes to sabotage us. So they would give us the worst of the 2 options if they had the choice. But I don't know, I feel like Claude could probably be the Tempest Trial there. That's just my guess. Alright, and then we have the Halloween banner this time. So, again, no trailer, but if memory serves, I think Timera was the first unit shown on this one. So, let's take a look at her kit. Alright, Vital Astra, which has fallen off a cliff. No one even, like, even as a budget skill, this ain't even going to cut it. Alright, then we got Bonus Doubler 4, Spurn 4, and Times Pulse 4. Yeah, all this is rubbish. Times Pulse has a million variants that are all better. Not even Close Bonus Doubler or Distant Bonus Doubler. Just Bonus Doubler 4, which is just even worse off. Actually, is it? Hold on. Does this check? Yeah, actually, this might be better, right? Because this checks for allies in 2 spaces. So even if they're nullifying your bonuses, you can still borrow the bonuses from an ally in 2 spaces. So this actually is better than Close and Distant Bonus Doubler. Kinda. Which is funny. But yeah, okay, so Timera is probably going to be the option there. All right, let's go ahead and move on next to the Ninja banner. Yeah, oh man, this was a crazy one. Zelgius and Sanaki were dominant units when they came out. So Zelgius was the first unit shown, and then I think Heather was second. Let's go ahead and take a look at what they've got going on. All right, so Heather was a rally bot, if I'm not mistaken. And she introduced Schism, right? So, like, this was the first unit that gave the middle finger to Pathfinder. Mainly, though, when this came out, it was actually used to nullify triangle attack because people were still running Catria balls. So, like, this was good for that, but now it's good for nullifying Pathfinder. And then Remote Sparrow, again, as if we haven't seen that 50 times looking through this list. And then Rally Attack Speed. The double Rally Plus is pretty nice for fodder. Even right now, like this, you can still use this for Arena. Alright, and then Zelgius had... Let's take a look here. Lightless Luna, because they refused to give him Eclipse for some reason. Alright, then he has Distant Defres Solo. Oh, actually, that's not bad. Distant Defres Solo. That's a legitimate distant counter skill. Special Fighter 4, which is awful. And then Assault Troop 3, which... I don't think this is the prerequisite for the new Edelgard skill with True Charge. I think that was a completely new skill family, as was her A skill. And people were very upset about that. Reasonably so, right? Because, like, it just makes it harder to get the skill. But, yeah, nothing here seems out of the norm. Distant Defres Solo would be fire, actually, for a Tempest Trial free skill. So, I'm thinking... It could be either way. It could be Heather or Zelgius. I'm going to assume Zelgius. Because so far, it doesn't seem like they're really gimping us in terms of which unit is the freebie. Because, like, Ash has a unique C skill. Caden Nino has a unique C skill. So, it doesn't seem like that's a factor in them holding back on which unit is the freebie. I mean, I say that now, right? But it's only been 2 Tempest Trials, so it's too early to say. But I would bet on Zelgius over Heather for this one. And then finally, we have the Holiday banner, which, man, this banner was a trip when this came out. Holy shit. Like, we actually were worried that this was going to be the end of the game from how broken these units were. But, no, we survived, and now things are even worse than ever. But, okay, so Yunaka was the very first unit shown on the... Or, was it Yunaka or was it Edelgard? I'm pretty sure it was Yunaka on this one, right? Yunaka came out first on the trailer. Let's take a look at her. We actually also got her as a ephemera code, too, not so long ago. So, yeah, she does have useful fodder. She actually does have Fatal Smoke 4, which is meta right now, which is good. Then we have Assassin Strike, which I mean, you don't need Assassin Strike for the prerequisite, but there is a new skill that came on the Harmonic Lin that is basically an upgrade to this. And then Flared Sparrow is still okay. This is one of those passives that actually aged pretty good. There are better options, like the Edelgard A skill, Strat Flame is better. But Flared Sparrow is still okay. Anything that gives you terrain right now is pretty good. So, yeah, Flared Sparrow is not awful. It's certainly better than Remote Sparrow. I'll give it that much. And then she had Luna instead of Lethality, unfortunately. But, yeah, this was a very good unit when she came out. And, you know, honestly, I haven't mentioned this earlier, but a lot of these units that we're looking at here are units that people might have tried to plus 10 when they came out. If they were a favorite character or... if someone was chasing the meta. Like, for example, Yunaka was very good. So people might have summoned to get a lot of copies of her. And if you are still trying to get the plus 10, we are getting extra copies for free from the Tempest Trial. We're getting the unit, and then we're getting 2 copies in the Grail Shop. So that's just plus 3 merges on whatever you've already got on yours, if you're trying to go for the plus 10 still. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel here. It's not like it's all bad that they did away with Tempest Trial units. This is more retroactive help for players that were trying to merge these units up originally but didn't get the plus 10. So, yeah, it's not all bad. There is definitely some good stuff to be had here. And these are very cool units, right? Like, I can't deny Ninja Zelgius is pretty badass. Stuff like that. Like, Halloween Tamara, very awesome unit. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you think I'm on the money here with my first unit on the trailer prediction? We'll know in time after we see a couple more Tempest Trials and see if that's what they're doing. But a couple of these, it also feels like it could go either way between two of the other 5 stars. I don't think they're going to do harmonics and duos yet. I mean, they might, for all I know. We could get a harmonic or duo as the freebie. It could happen. But I don't know. Like, we don't know, really. There's just not enough information yet. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And I will catch y'all again on the flip side.